Welcome back again, children. We were in chapter number 1, that is rational numbers. So students, before we move ahead, let us quickly revise what we have seen, the properties in the last session. We have seen the closure and commutativity, associativity. Rational numbers are closed under addition, subtraction and multiplication, and division we have seen, children, only when the denominator, that is, it is not divided by a 0, right? Then commutativity, we have seen that a plus b is equal to b plus a, or a multiplied by b is equal to b multiplied by a. Associativity, we have seen a plus in bracket b plus c is equal to a plus b in bracket plus c. You can either way you can add, children, either first two or last two, answer will be same. Then we have also seen it is also true for multiplication, that is a into b into c in bracket is equal to a into b in bracket multiplied by c. We have also seen the role of 0, the role of 1, right? 0 is the additive identity. Why we say that? Because in any rational number, if you add 0, the answer will be the same rational number. Its identity is not changed, children. So it is known as the 0 is known as the additive identity for rational numbers, whereas 1 is known as a multiplicative identity for rational numbers. So if you multiply any rational number by 1, the answer will be the same rational number, right? Next one, moving ahead, we have seen reciprocal. Reciprocal means if the rational number is a upon b, we change numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator. It is called as reciprocal, children. It is also known as multiplicative inverse, right? And when we multiply any rational number by its multiplicative inverse, children, answer will be 1. Like numerator and denominator will get cancelled of both the sides and the answer will be 1. Additive inverse, children, whereas when we take a upon b as any rational number or p upon q, then we take it as negative. If it is positive, we take it negative. If it is negative, we take it as positive. This is known as additive inverse. Like a upon b is any rational number, its additive inverse will be minus a upon b. Like p upon q is any rational number, its additive identity will be minus p upon q. Numerator and denominator will not change, only the sign will change. If it is positive, it will be negative. If it is negative, it will be positive, right? Then we have seen distributivity property, like a multiplied by b plus c. Then we open the bracket and we multiply a to both the terms inside the bracket, that is a into b plus a into c, or else if it is a into b minus c in bracket, it will be a into b minus a into c, right? So these all properties, basic properties, you should understand, children. Based on these all properties, we will start today with exercise 1.1. So this is the exercise, children. Question number 1 here. Using appropriate properties, find. Right? There are two sums given in question number 1, bit 1 and bit 2. So let us begin with the bit 1. Yeah. So it is negative 2 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 5 plus 5 upon 2 minus 3 upon 5 into 1 upon 6. Now you have to pay attention, children. You have to bring it in such a way, or you have to rearrange the terms in such a way that we can use some of the property here. So if I see here, now if you pay attention here, 3 upon 5 is common. It is multiplied here, it is multiplied to negative 2 upon 3. Here it is multiplied to 1 upon 6. Can we use here commutative property? That is a into b is equal to a into c. A common, will bring it outside, right? Distributive property we can use. Commutative say that a into b or b into a is same, children, right? So if we interchange the terms, it doesn't matter. Answer will be same. So let us first use the commutative property. Okay, first let's rearrange the terms. So here I have interchanged the terms. I have made it 3 upon 5 multiplied by negative 2 upon 3. A into b or b into a, same, children. So if I consider this as a and this as b, so a into b or b into a. Now I have interchanged them here, you can see. So b into a will be same. So it is 3 upon 5 multiplied by negative 2 upon 3, right? plus 5 upon 2 as it is, and again negative 3 upon 5 multiplied by 1 upon 6. Again using the commutative property, children, we will again interchange here. So this first we'll keep as it is, 3 upon 5 multiplied by negative 2 upon 3. Now this I am bringing here, okay, that is negative 3 upon 5 multiplied by 1 upon 6 plus 5 upon 2 as it is. Right, now here we can use the distributive property, children. Now here I can see it is in the form of a into b, okay, minus a into c. Can I take a common and write in bracket b minus c, children? Right, so this is what we are going to apply here. So it will be 3 upon 5. Here you can see we have taken here common outside, negative 2 upon 3 as it is, and 1 upon 6 as it is. Only the thing between these two, there is subtraction sign, so here we have taken the subtraction sign, children, okay, and plus 5 upon 2 as it is. Moving ahead, now we have to solve it, children. So you can see here we cannot solve this bracket, okay, without taking the LCM, because when fractions we solve, we have to bring it into the like fractions. Denominator should be same. So we are taking the LCM. So 6 we will take, and 2 multiplied by here 2 into 2 will be 2 2s are 4, negative 4, and rest of the terms as it is. And then we will get 3 upon 5 multiplied by in bracket negative 4 minus 1 upon 6. Now negative 4, negative 1, when there are two integers with negative sign, we have to add it, but the sign will be negative. So it will be negative 5 upon 6 plus 5 by 2 as it is. Right? Now here you can solve it, children. You can see here this is 3 1s are 3 2s are 6. Denominator numerator gets cancelled when it is in multiplication form. And plus 5 by 2 as it is. Now you can see here it is 1 upon 2, that is negative sign. So negative 1 upon 2 and the plus 5 upon 2 as it is. We can add and subtract the fractions when they are in like forms, right? That we have already seen in the earlier classes, children. So already they are in like terms, no need to take LCM. So denominator 2 as it is, and numerators we will add up, that is negative 1 plus 5 will be 4 upon 2. Right, that is equal to nothing but 2. So this is how you are going to use the properties, children, and solve it. Okay, so the whole sum again I'll show you. You can note down in your classwork, children. So this is the first part where we are rearranging the terms. Right, I hope this is clear, children. We are rearranging, we are using the properties like commutativity and distributivity. Okay, and then we solve it. So this is how we have solved, and the first answer is 2. Moving ahead, children, similar way we will solve the second one also using the properties. So it is 2 upon 5 multiplied by negative 3 upon 7 minus 1 upon 6 multiplied by 3 upon 2 plus 1 upon 14 multiplied by 2 by 5. Now what you can see here, children, you can see here 2 upon 5, I can see here common, right? So let us first concentrate on that. Let us rearrange our terms, right? So 2 by 5 multiplied by 3 upon 7 as it is. Okay, and this whole I'll bring it over here. That is A multiplied by B. So 2 upon 5 multiplied by 1 upon 14. I have brought it, rearranged the terms, and then minus 1 upon 6 multiplied by 3 upon 2 as it is. Now you can see, children, here 2 upon 5 common. So that I'll take common outside using the distributive property. Okay, and then we will solve it further. So here you can see, children, so 2 upon 5 common, in bracket minus 3 upon 7 plus 1 upon 14 and bracket close minus 1 upon 6 multiplied by 3 upon 2 as it is. So this will be equal to 2 upon 5 multiplied by, now here you have to take the LCM. So you can see here the denominator is 7, here the denominator is 14. So if the denominators are different, children, if they are unlike, then we cannot add it, right? First you have to take the LCM and then you have to add it. So after taking the LCM, I got 14 as the LCM. Numerator will be negative 6 plus 1. Okay, no need to explain, now you people know very well how to take the LCM. Now minus 1 upon 6 multiplied by 3 upon 2 as it is. Now start cancelling. Here I'll get 5 upon 14. So it will be 2 ones are and 2 sevens are. 5 gets cancelled. So it is 1 upon 7. Negative 1 upon 7 children. Because here it was negative 6 plus 1. So the bigger number has the negative sign. So it will be negative. So it will be negative 1 upon 7. And then minus. This is 3 ones are, 3 twos are. And denominator 2 twos are 4 and 1 on the numerator. So 1 upon 4. So it is negative 1 upon 7 minus 1 upon 4. Again here we cannot directly add or subtract because there should be like fractions. So to convert it into like fractions, we will again take the LCM of 7 and 4. It will be 28. Hence the numerators are now changed. That is negative 4, negative 7, which will be negative 11. Right? Integers. When there are two negative integers, you add it, but the sign will be negative. I hope this is clear, children, now. Right? Only the thing how to use the properties that you have to be careful. Right? Other rest of the things, how to solve the fractions, how to take the LCM, how to solve the integers, that you people have already studied, children, in the previous sessions. Right? So let us move ahead. Again now question number 2, very easy. Write the additive inverse of each of the following. When I told you in today's session also, we have done a revision, quick revision. So additive inverse means if the number is positive, we will make it negative. If the number is negative, we will make it positive. But no changes in the numerator and denominator, children, right? And multiplicative identity is when you change the when you take the reciprocal, right? But there the sign will not change. If it is negative, then it will be negative rational number. If it is positive, it will be positive rational number. Okay, so now write the additive inverse of each of the following. First one is 2 upon 8. What it will be? Negative 2 upon 8. Rational numbers, always we write the negative sign in the numerator, right, children? So negative 2 upon 8. And next one is negative 5 upon 9. What will be this additive inverse? It will be positive 5 upon 9. If the negative negative rational number is given, make it positive. If positive is given, make it negative. I hope this is very much clear. Not required much explanation on this. It is, yes, now pay attention here on the third one. Negative 6 upon negative 5. This negative sign gets cancelled, children. It becomes positive 6 upon 5. And now positive 6 upon 5, additive inverse will be negative 6 upon 5. So when such thing comes, you have to be very careful. Otherwise, you will just write positive 6 upon 5, which will be completely wrong. Right? Now here 2 upon negative 9, always we write negative sign. Standard form of a rational number, always we write in negative sign in the numerator. So it is written as negative 2 upon 9. And now we know the rational number is negative. Now make it positive for finding the additive inverse. So additive inverse will be positive 2 upon 9. 19 upon negative 6, again it is a negative integer, negative rational number, make it positive, it will be 19 upon 6. Okay, children, so I hope this is clear about the additive inverse. Now question number 3, verify the following. Negative of negative x is equal to x for x value equal to 11 upon 15. Right? And negative, second one is given, negative of negative x is equal to x for x is equal to negative 13 upon 17. So these two we have to prove it, children. Okay, left hand side equal to right hand side by substituting the values of x, right? Both the conditions are same, only the values are different. Okay, so let us see here. Let us take left hand side. Left hand side is given negative of negative x, right? So here we will substitute the value of x. In the first one it was given 11 upon 15. So negative of 11 upon 15, okay, which will be again minus we know, we have studied integers, children, everybody knows that. Okay, so negative into negative will be positive. So it will be positive 11 upon 15. Now 11 upon 15 was given to us what? X. So it will be positive x. Hence we have proved that left hand side is equal to right hand side. That is negative of negative x is equal to x for all the rational numbers. Okay. Let us move ahead. This is the second one. Again the x value is given negative 13 upon 17. Right. So negative and then negative of negative 13 upon 17 will be equal to negative 13 upon 17, which is nothing but the given value of x here, children. Our x value is negative 13 upon 17 only, right? So this is what value we are getting, right? This negative will become positive, the inside one, but negative and positive will be again negative only, right? So if you take the negative of any given rational number, the answer will be the same rational number, whether it is positive, whether it is negative, right? Now let us move ahead. Yeah, this is question number 4. Find the multiplicative inverse of the following. Right? Now, multiplicative inverse, again I have told you, children, it's nothing but the reciprocal. Taking the reciprocal means numerator, if it is given any a upon b, so you will change numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator. It will be b upon a. Right? So, let us find one by one. Very easy it is. Negative 13. So it will be reciprocal taking of negative 13. So whenever we write negative 13, any suppose anything I have given a value. So writing it in the rational number, how we write? A upon 1. Yes or no, children? P upon q in the form of. So any rational number, if it is given like this, it can be considered as upon 1, children. So negative 13 upon 1. So numerator is negative 13, which will go in denominator now, right? And 1 will go to the numerator. So it will be 1 upon 13, but negative sign always we give in numerator only in the rational numbers, in the standard rational number form. Okay, so negative 1 upon 13 is the answer. Similarly, second one, negative 13 upon 19, obviously 19, negative 19 upon 13. So, if it is a positive rational number, it will be positive only. If it is negative, it will be negative only, children. And negative symbol, sign always you have to give in the numerator in the rational numbers. Standard form is like that, negative p upon q. You never write p upon negative q. Okay. So, 1 upon 5 will be 5 upon 1, which is nothing but 5. Let us move ahead. Okay, here little bit solving we have to do. So fourth one they have given negative 5 upon 8 multiplied by negative 3 upon 7, right? So here it is directly multiplication. So we know fractions we can multiply directly, numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So here it will be 5 into 3 will be 15 and negative will be positive. So 15 upon 8 sevens are 56, children. So 15 upon 56 is the simplified form of the whatever question was given to us. Now multiplicative inverse of this will be this denominator will go to numerator, numerator will go to the denominator. That means 56 upon 15. Right? I hope this is clear. Next one again same, children. Negative 1 multiplied by 2 will be 2 ones are 2, but negative positive. So positive 2 whole divided by 5. And 2 upon 5 taking the multiplicative inverse of 2 upon 5 will be 5 upon 2. Negative 1 multiplicative inverse of negative 1 is always negative 1 only, children, right? 1 upon 1 will be always 1 value only. So negative 1 is 1. Positive 1 will be 1. I hope this is clear. Let us move ahead to the question number 5. Name the property under multiplication used in each of the following. Now, which property has been used, that we have to just, you can write this in the textbook itself, children. No need to copy this. Such answers you can directly write in the textbook if you have. If you don't have textbook, then obviously write it in your classwork. So this is negative 4 upon 5 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 into negative 4 upon 5 is equal to negative 4 upon 5. So it is multiplying by 1, which is identity. Which identity, children? Multiplicative identity, right? If we multiply 1 to any rational number, answer will be the same rational number. So here 1 is used as a multiplicative identity. So this property has been applied. Multiplicative identity. Next one, negative 13 upon 17 multiplied by negative 2 upon 7 is equal to negative 2 upon 7 is multiplied by negative 13 upon 17. So A into B is equal to B into A, right? We can interchange in multiplication and addition. So here it is commutative property, children. Okay. So commutative property of multiplication is used. Next one, negative 19 upon 29 multiplied by 29 upon negative 19. Now here you can see we have taken the inverse reciprocal of the negative 19 upon 29, and I have already told when you multiply the rational number with its multiplicative inverse, then the answer will be always 1, because this gets cancelled na, numerator to numerator, denominator and denominator. So always you get the answer 1. So which property, children, here is used? Multiplicative inverse property. Okay, reciprocal we are taking. Okay, this is question number 6 now. Multiply 6 upon 13 by the reciprocal of negative 7 upon 16. So you have to now multiply, children, 6 upon 13, okay, by the reciprocal of this. Now reciprocal means multiplicative inverse, right? So it will be negative only, but only the numerator will go to denominator, denominator will come to numerator. So it will be negative 16 upon 7. Now you can see here I have taken multiplied by negative 16 upon 7, right, which will be equal to now multiplication. So you can directly multiply numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So 6 into negative 16 is equal to negative 96, children, and denominator will be 13 into 7 will be 91. I hope this is clear. Very easy sums, children, these are. Yeah. Which property, this is question number 7 now, which property allows to compute 1 upon 3 multiplied by 6 into, now 6 is here, you can just, in your mind, you can just say it as 6 upon 1, okay. So 1 upon 3 into 6 upon 1 multiplied by 4 upon 3 as 1 upon 3 multiplied by 6. So first two terms I can just multiply first, and then whatever answer comes, the third one I will multiply to it. So which is the property which which allows me to do this? I mean, in any way I can do the calculation. Either first two and then I will multiply the third one to the whatever the product I got from the first two, or the last two and whatever product I get, I'll multiply to the first one, first term, right? So according to the associative property, children, right? When there are only two terms, we say it commutative, and when there are three, we say it associative property of multiplication, right? Associative property of addition is also there, right? It is true for addition and multiplication. So here, according to associative property of multiplication, we can write the given whatever thing is there. I hope this was clear, children. The properties, how to apply it, what is multiplicative inverse, what is additive inverse, what is multiplicative identity, additive identity, and for which all operations the closure property, it is closed for rational numbers, which is true for associative, which is true for commutativity. Okay, so I hope it was clear. Still having any doubts, we will clear later on, children. Okay, so that's it for today, children. We'll stop over here. In the next session again, we will continue with the rest of the sums. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.